Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun before we get into like anger and rage. Walter Masterson apparently showed up at Trump's arrest at the Fulton County Jail to talk to some very upstanding folks. Mega Man with the Roblox model? Exactly. Print $1 billion.
Someone pushing these things. There's a reason that the Chinese are setting up police stations all over our country. I mean, who's behind this?
Oh, the Chinese are setting up police stations in the U.S. That's news to me.
Wait a second, I haven't heard. No, that one I haven't heard. Tell me everything about that one.
I have heard. Are you familiar with the Epoch Times?
Epoch Times, yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I have read that in there, that the Chinese are opening up police stations throughout our country. You have not heard about that?
Hey, Forgiato.
What's up, my dog? Again, you?
Again.
You gonna try to Riz me again? What's up? It's the Riz King. I love left media.
Tell me why Trump is innocent.
You gonna change my words? What we gonna do? Trump's innocent, man. The reason why they pushing Trump so hard is because if Trump doesn't go to jail, they go to jail. They don't want him in this race. They want him off this ballot. He's the president of the United States or a former president of the United States. He doesn't need to get a mugshot. He doesn't need to be handcuffed. All these indictments are backfiring.
By the way, this is the guy who did that like MAGA rap song about how like liberals were drinking the blood of children, etc. That's this guy. You guys might remember that. I know there's been a lot of people like that, but he's like been one of the more recent guys.
They're not gonna help him because you don't like Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, there's people who play 50-50 don't really know, and this shit here is making them say this is taking it way too far. Even you, my man, like you had to have more money when Trump was in. The economy's much better now, right? With Donald Trump.
The economy's better?
With Donald Trump. Then now, Donald Trump has helped so many people become who they are. Like you got to go undercover as someone who likes Donald Trump to get views.
Not all of us can get an inheritance from our dad.
I know, from daddy for Auto Trader, right?
Yeah,
which I love anybody to show me where I got any money from anybody in my family. Never received an inheritance. I don't know what inheritance I could have got. But you know what? I got 6 Rolls Royces on my own. Supporting Donald Trump. I got brand new cars, Tahoes, Trump trucks.
Oh man, he got so much money for sucking dick, it's crazy.
Billboards, money, because you know what? I get up every day and chase my dreams in this world that Donald Trump let us do that and fight for freedom.
The thing that people joke about is your whole born to ride Donald Trump.
Born to ride 45, that's the gang.
Yeah.
That's the gang. We out here putting on for Trump.
Do you like...
Putting on for Trump. Them people out here putting on for Trump.
That's funny though. It's funny.
I don't think it's funny.
It's so funny, dude.
I don't think it's funny.
Born to ride Donald Trump.
I don't think that's funny. You're trying to Riz me. This man got some Riz challenge.
I know, but it's funny.
This is the Riz
it's
challenge.
Funny. It's come on.
Let's go to the next one.
No,
You
but
got
if
that
you
one.
listen,
Next one, next.
If you
What you got
just
next?
agreed that you were doing comedy, I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna bow to you as the king of comedy because that's
It's
the
born to
funniest thing.
ride for 45, not born to ride 45.
Because the way it says.
Born to ride 45. Make sure you get
I've
these
seen her
white
at everything.
supremacists.
You're Vietnamese, right? I've been to probably 20 to 30 rallies. I've seen you at everything.
Every single rally in the
Actually,
world.
I don't think I've been to a rally that I haven't seen you.
America, America, the greatest show on earth.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? The guy's showing up cosplaying a chain gang with a bunch of rat furries.
Right up, stop right up. We got peanuts for all. We got peanuts. The greatest circus in the world. The world looks at America as a circus. Well, I bring the circus.
Republicans against Trump. I don't think they're libs.
To America.
What work are you in?
I'm not a network. I'm a private citizen.
Oh wait.
And
Oh, this guy! This guy! I saw an interview with him. He was here to, like, serve papers to the Fulton County DA to sue the DA for going after Donald Trump. This guy's amazing.
We just applied for the arrest of Fannie Willis in Magistrate.
Oh wait, can you hold that up to the camera?
We're outside.
Brad Barnes files for the arrest of Fulton DA Fannie Willis. August 24th, 2023. Today, Brad Barnes, Republican Party activist and defendant in the Rome 4 First Amendment case, before the Fulton County Magistrate Court made application for a warrant for the arrest of Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis pursuant to Georgia Code 17-4-40. He said, hatred of one man, Donald Trump, has driven false Fannie to weaponize her office and to pervert the justice system against her political enemies. Our republic stands on the precipice. Either these charges placed on false Fannie's insurrection against the rule of law prevail, and those she targets walk free, or we will continue our rapid descent towards a banana republic. Dude, you could have used a banana republic for this suit. Make no mistake, her actions embolden and bolster the propaganda efforts of Russia, China, and tyrannical regimes all around the world while destroying the moral authority that has come at such great price to our country. The charges are as follows: violation of oath by public officer, conspiracy against rights, which is, as we all know, conspiracy against right-leaning folks, deprivation of rights under color of law, unprofessional conduct by public officers and employees. About Brad Barnes. Brad Barnes is a widely known Republican Party activist and former candidate for Georgia State House District 13 based in Rome, Georgia. He's one of the Rome 4 defendants in the upcoming First Amendment and weaponization of law enforcement case concerning the suppression and arrest of protesters in Rome, Georgia this June. The case will make its appearance in court September 21st, 2023.
Of the Fulton County Courthouse right now. I just came from the Magistrate Court of Fulton County, where we applied for the arrest of Fannie Willis. The indictment has 4 charges. There's 2 under the state law and 2 under the federal law. The 2 under the state law relate to the conduct of public officials, and they are violation of oath of office and unprofessional conduct by public officers and employees. And the 2 charges under the U.S. Code are conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights under color of law. This is...
I love that this guy thinks that you can just go to a courthouse and be like, hey, arrest this random person that I don't like, and have that work.
The direct attack on Trump's ability to win the election in 2024, and so those are violations against her oath of office. I actually have been a candidate for office, State House, up in Rome, Georgia, which is known to most of America as Marjorie Taylor Greenville. So she lives about 4 miles.
Have you met her?
So. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You see her all the time.
Yeah, pretty regularly actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's she like?
I think Marjorie is a lot more intelligent than anyone gives her credit for. It's the same with Trump. They say, Trump is dumb. And Marjorie in particular is really great at just walking into a situation or room and immediately figuring out what the fix is, like what's going on.
Yeah.
And really sharp at that, in fact.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Where are they? Where is Build Back Better? 666. That's a sign of the devil, President Obama.
What?
Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off my brothers and sisters.
What?
They are devil worshippers, right, Rihanna? Are we a devil worshiper at the Super Bowl Sunday halftime show with The Weeknd? I am homeless in heels working for President Trump on my dime and my time across this country since 2015.
She's homeless and in heels and working for free. That is the saddest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No justice, no peace.
Love you, baby. I'm with Trump
No
too.
justice,
I'm
no
with Trump
peace.
Too. I'm with Trump too.
Yeah.
You liberals better out.
That was the most awkward fucking kiss I've ever seen in my life. It was so angry.
Peace.
I'm with Trump too.
Yeah.
You liberals, my dime and my time across this country since 2015. No justice, no peace.
Love you, baby. I'm with Trump
No
too.
justice,
I'm
no
with Trump
peace.
Too. I'm with Trump too.
Yeah.
You liberals better out there. They
YouTube
have
title is
my
spoilers.
balls and
Yep.
advice. President Obama
Hey,
is
Simon.
married to a man. Mike Obama's private parts are bigger than a family-sized can of Right Guard. Why do you think they...
Yes, Michelle Obama is a trans woman, and not only that, she has a massive hog. Yeah, they call Michelle Obama Mike Obama. No, guys, we went over this yesterday during the when we went over the gay interview. They think that Obama secretly married a man because he's so gay. That's what they think. That's part of the conspiracy. That Obama is so gay that he'll do murders to cover it up, and he'll also force his husband to dress up as a woman. And apparently, they also fantasize that Michelle Obama has a massive, massive hog, which I think says a lot more about them than it does about anything Michelle Obama has done.
They killed my sister, Joan Rivers. Why did John Johnson try to kill me? That's me. I used to be a nice girl, went to finishing
Are you
school.
doing great? Are you a comedian?
No, I'm not. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm a
You're not a
whistleblower.
comedian.
I'm here to support Trump.
So we're here to support our president.
I have supported our president since he came down that escalator with his beautiful wife. Get over here, girl. You get over here. Abby. This is my sister in Christ, Abby. President Donald John Trump is going in cuffs today to expose the judicial
He
system.
ain't going to cuffs. Why you so stupid?
You think liberals are in a cult?
Liberals are in a cult.
Yes, we are here because Trump is guilty. Lock him up and throw away the key.
Trump indicted.
Again and again and again.
And again and again and again.
Get that shit.
I made it. You made that? I made it, yeah.
Explain why you think Donald Trump is guilty.
We saw him on national television telling that guy from Georgia, the Secretary of State.
I think she was saying sister in more of like a, a friend who's also, your sister type way. Not actually.
From Georgia. All I need is 11,780 votes.
What is on her head? I just noticed that. What is this?
One more. Yeah. That was the crime.
Yeah.
Lock him up. Throw away the key.
They were just talking, so it's like it's illegal to just talk about finding 11,780 votes. I feel like that's like freedom of speech. It's like a First Amendment.
It's the first not when you want to overthrow the government and steal the votes of black and brown people. Because that's what he wanted to do.
What are you talking about? People have been doing that for years.
Yeah, but he was doing it bold-faced though. They've been doing it on the DL. At least trying to do it on the DL. But he doesn't care. Detroit, anywhere there are black people, that's where
She right though.
the way he think that voter fraud is taking place. He didn't question when the votes in the areas where he won, which is like white people who voted for him, he didn't question those. He questioned where there are a lot of black and brown people. With the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, we have changed it from conquest, war, famine, and death. We have changed it to white supremacy, patriarchy, capitalism, and complacency. Because complacency is what is going to cause the death. Yeah, the death of
otherwise known
democracy.
as neoliberalism.
I don't know what it is known as. I just know that people not participating, and when we don't participate, people like Trump and Eastman, and they're trying to steal our democracy is what we get.
She's 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, so you're just as concerned as most Americans about the military.
I'm sorry. Trump is just like Nelson Mandela.
And the weaponization of law enforcement.
Definitely, I think that's the number one issue. I saw recently something that said that the FBI had shot 4 people dead possibly in their own homes in the last month or so. It was one gentleman, he had said some negative things about Biden on the internet. They came to his house and they shot.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. And shout out to Andy Kindler, comedian Andy Kindler, for following me on Twitter. I like Bob's Burgers. I like your work. Thank you very much. Also, come on my show and bullshit with me sometime.
Shot him dead.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to see the whole video.
Well, I don't think there is a video.
The cops, they were probably like...
Yeah, he guests on the Majority Report and plays Mort on Bob's Burgers.
You know, fearing for their lives.
They came to his house.
Yeah.
Early in the morning. Well, he doesn't know what's going on. They bust into his house with automatic weapons. What's he gonna do? Well, he's just gonna go reach for his gun. He doesn't know who's coming into his home.
You can imagine the police just showing up to your house and executing you, like, and no knock warrant.
It should never be like that.
What do you think about Cop City?
Well, Cop City is a training ground for the police officers here, right?
Okay.
So what's the controversy with there? I don't
Well, it seems
understand.
like a military...
What I mean, what's the controversy there? They're building an entire city to train cops how to break into your house. you goon. Lana, thank you very much for the subscription over on Twitch. Happy Friday, and thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate the support. And 4 more subs away from hitting makeup time.
It's 100 acres. It's you
Can I score Aaron Reed on the show? You know what? I can give it a shot. I can tell you I'll reach out, but you know, I'm sure she's in demand. But I can see what I can do.
It can simulate urban warfare. It just seems like a militarization to me.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I think our police need to be prepared, especially after the riots and the looting, the burning, everything, all these kind of things that we've had over the last few years. They need to be prepared for all kinds of situations. It's totally different, yeah.
Totally different than the militarization.
That's different than attacking people.
A lot of talk about the weapon.
Yeah. You know, arming yourself with shields and batons to beat people with. That's not militarization. It's militarization to show up to somebody's house with guns. Ignore the fact that the people with shields and batons to beat people with also had guns.
Weaponization of law enforcement.
Yes.
DOJ, the FBI, IRS, CIA. What do you think should be done about the weaponization of law enforcement?
Well, the only thing that really can be done is to clear them out, clear everyone out, especially at the top. I don't think it's the rank and file that are that corrupt. I think it's the ones in leadership, and I think that the corruption is so deep and so entrenched in these organizations that they really have to be totally destroyed. And of course, we know Kennedy said that he was going to do that with the CIA.
Before he died.
And we saw what happened with him. They put a bullet in his head. Dangerous venture to go against these people. They're going to destroy you, and we see what they're doing to Trump.
Almost like an abolishing. You have to destroy and rebuild these institutions because their foundation is just too rotten.
Oh man, he really wanted to say abolish the police. He really wanted to say it. I wonder if he's going to be able to sneak that in.
Exactly.
I sound like a liberal when I talk like this. When I talk about this, you know, like, because they talk about abolishing these institutions. And well, because it's like they're basically saying you can't reform these institutions. They're just so corrupt. You need to destroy and rebuild.
I think that we're far past conservative and liberal. I mean, those are what the labels they want to put on us to divide us.
Flea Blotch.
The truth is,
We'll talk about Project 2025 because it is well worth its entire segment. Stick around, we'll talk about it.
we're far past that at this point. We're far past Republican and Democrat, conservative, liberal. We're way past that. We're down to evil versus good at this point.
You actually have a good point about this. Should we, as conservatives, start marching with these progressives that are, you know, marching and protesting against the police? Like Cop City, great example. Is that like a weaponization of law enforcement? Cop City.
I'm not familiar with Cop City.
In Atlanta, they're building a military
Yes.
a military facility. It's like 100 acres,
Yes.
millions of taxpayer dollars, and it's like it's militarizing
I see.
the police force of Atlanta.
But I think the better question to ask is who's behind that? The taxpayers may be funding it, but who's behind that? There's someone pushing these things. There's a reason that the Chinese are setting up police stations all over our country. I mean,
Hell
who's
yeah, brother.
behind
I
Wait
mean,
a second, I haven't
sister.
heard. No, that one I haven't heard.
Hell yeah, sister. Everyone knows that the Chinese are setting up their own fake Chinese police stations. when you go across state borders, you gotta look out for them sneaky Chinese police stations, okay? They'll sneak up on you. They'll get you. They come up looking like normal police officers, but then they say something in a language I can't understand. And that's how I know they're Chinese police officers. Oh, God.
Tell me everything about that one.
I have heard. Are you familiar with the Epoch Times?
Epoch Times,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Okay. I have read that in there, that the Chinese are opening up police stations throughout our country. You have not heard about that?
I didn't know that the Chinese Communist Party was setting up.
By the way, this is why I despise the Falun Gong. Specifically because of their outlets like the Epoch Times, okay? That spread crazy shit like this. The Epoch Times is known trash, but only if you're not conservative. If you're conservative, then you basically take their words as gospel, okay? Because most of it is shit-talking the Chinese government, and then it just makes up lies about other people they don't like too.
Police stations throughout the United States.
Yes, and they're also funding our colleges and universities.
Okay.
You do know about that, right?
Well, the Penn State thing for sure.
But it's even farther than that. I mean, they
yes, the massive funds of the Chinese government going into American colleges instead of Chinese colleges.
everywhere in this country. But see, this is
So you're
what
saying like if you look further into Cop City, you'll find that this is a CCP
maybe
plot. Yeah, but I'm saying you're not saying an absolute. You're saying it's if they're setting up.
question to ask.
Yeah.
Who is behind this? What is the impetus
Cop
behind
City
it?
was just training, and then it was all of these other things of people that were trying to tear it down. All the homeless people that were living in there. Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
I don't mind our police being trained well, though. I don't have a problem with that.
Again, you do always have to follow the money. I always do that. You always have to ask who is behind this. What's the impetus behind this?
Oh no! If we follow the money, it comes back to the American taxpayer. Oh no!
I just think that's a wise question to ask.
A lot of us obviously are upset about the weaponization of law enforcement.
Sure. And in fact, I'm actually a defendant in another weaponization of law enforcement case in Georgia, which is the Rome 4 case up in Rome, which involved.
Man, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I feel like my brain is overloaded with jokes, and I'm trying to like go through them to make sure that they're not mean-spirited enough, or to make sure that they're not too mean-spirited. His suit is just so blue.
Involves the police of Rome suppressing and arresting protesters at the Trans Queer Pride for Kids event. This case is particularly important and close to me as someone who has been a victim of the politicization of law enforcement.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen pictures
100-acre trading facility.
Right.
And it just seems to me like militarization and.
I mean, the militarization of law enforcement, I think, is a valid concern, and it's actually something that you actually hear from both more the libertarian right as well as people on the left.
That's actually true.
So it's something that actually people can come together on. There's actually a lot if people.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the issue isn't that he's overweight. The issue is that, like, his suit doesn't fit. Like, you can have a well-fitting suit and be overweight, and it will still look good on you. You know, like, I don't like Kingpin from like the Daredevil show. I guess that's an old reference now, but like Vincent D'Onofrio is a very large man, but like when he wears a suit, the suit fits him and he looks drippy as fuck.
Would not be drawn into the bitterness of partisanship that actually people could agree on.
Yeah, by the way, it took me way too long. To learn this. But wear clothes that fit you, chat. Don't wear clothes that don't fit you just because you like the piece of clothing. Like, it's way more important that your clothes actually fit. Because when your clothes fit, regardless of your size, you look good.
What do you think about the weaponization of law enforcement?
It's disgusting, deplorable.
What do you think is
Yeah, don't wear aspirational sizing is something you need to avoid. Exactly, Catherine Swift Kitty.
Solution to this weaponization of the DOJ,
It's
IRS?
cleaned out. It's got to be. We need leaders that care enough and are strong enough to clean up the mess that it's become.
What about Cop City?
I don't know much about Cop City.
100 acres.
Oh, where all the Antifas were assaulting the cops? I did see that.
I don't know anything about Cop City, except for all them Antifers were there. The Antifa super soldiers were assaulting our good salt of the earth cops over there, and thankfully we've trained our cops to be even more super soldier-y, so they weren't able to defeat the cops. Is essentially his argument here.
That's right.
Yeah. Is that in line with militarization and weaponization of law enforcement?
The protest to it, or Cop City itself?
The Cop City itself.
I think they need a training ground to train the cops. It's my understanding of why they're building that facility. So.
Did you know that recently there has been Fulton County Jail is being sued? They let a mentally challenged man die, and he died from bed bugs. And his cell was completely filthy, fecal matter, broken glass. In this jail right here, so that's why they wanted to do it here at this jail. They would love to see Donald Trump in this nasty, and it's famous all over America for being a very vicious jail to be in, a nasty jail.
One of the people in the Republican debates, Vivek Ramaswamy, he's talking about how we should raise the voting age to 24 and demand that voters pass a civics test.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So you think in 24 is an appropriate age to start voting?
I would think so.
Oh no! Oh, all of these old farts are about to say that people under 25 shouldn't be able to vote. Oh god, yeah, let's just disenfranchise a third of the country.
I think 18 is fine. I do like the civics test. I don't know if I would necessarily make it a requirement.
There's elected officials that have never taken a civics class.
Hard to believe.
There's members of the United States Senate. They've never taken a class in civics. Congress. United States Congress.
Interesting idea. I don't think it'll ever pass, but it's an interesting idea. I mean, I support Vivek. I met him. Great guy, personally. Came over, shook his hand, talked with him for 10 minutes. Great guy.
I'm good with the civics test.
Can we just look at that kid's shirt for a second? Joseph Stalin, honestly, this is so close to a cool shirt. It's so close to a shirt that I would unironically love.
Interesting idea. I don't think it'll ever pass, but it's an interesting idea. I mean, I support Vivek. I met him. Great guy, personally. Came over.
More like Joseph stealing your girl. Hey.
Shook his hand, talked with him for 10 minutes. Great guy.
I'm good with the civics test, but no. If you can go to war at 18, you should be able to vote at 18.
I agree, but I do think a civics test might be a good idea.
I think everybody should have to take a civics test. And especially immigrants coming here should have to take a couple of classes, for sure.
You guys heard of Vivek Ramaswamy?
Oh, yeah. Well, he worships a Hindu god. And at the top of this nation, just like Obama was a closet homosexual.
Jesus Christ, dude. I told you, you can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. These people have been stewing with the idea that Obama is gay as hell for the last 15 years. They can't get out of it. They're trapped in the ecosystem.
We don't want a Hindu god worshiper running our nation. Bottom line. He's a Hindu.
Okay. So I thought we liked Vivek.
What? Okay, he's a Hindu. And how will that negatively impact his ability to be president? Or maybe we should judge who should be president based on things like policy ideas and such. Hey, Bob Watkins. Thank you.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
he don't like Israel. He just went to Wikipedia.
Wait.
And there may
what?
be criminal charges against him.
Wait, did he just imply Hindus don't like Israel for some reason? Okay.
Paid to have things removed the day before he announced his presidency. One of the main things he had removed was his Hindu faith. But number two, that he was best friends with the creator of the mRNA vaccine and called that man his mentor. All that's now gone.
Because he made his money in pharma and big pharma.
True, mRNA. Why would you go scrub that from your Wikipedia? He is our Obama.
Well, he scrubbed it from his Wikipedia largely because the reason Vivek Ramaswamy is like so... Vivek rhymes with cake. See ya on the trail. I'm about to hit the trail. Freestyle rapper Vivek the Cake. The reason he removed that was because basically he got rich off of like essentially inflating the worth of his company, and right before his company had to deliver any product or not deliver any product as the case would be, he sold it at peak value. And then, of course, his company immediately imploded as soon as people found out that there was basically nothing of value that he was doing. So, just classic kind of conmanship behind that dude.
Slick, smooth, the best talker up there. But once it's all over with, you'll see that he's not a true conservative. There's a lot about him that needs to come out. There's only one man in this race.
I think a civics test sounds like a great idea.
Yes, civics test would be a great idea.
I may roll it all the way back and say you have to own property to vote.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's roll it all the way back to that, Stacy. We'll roll it all the way back to you have to own property to vote. And just real quick, does that come with black people being able to vote? Does that come with women still being able to vote? Who's enfranchised in your world, Stacy? God.
Yes, just like the founding fathers.
No, that's a great idea.
Oh my God!
Oh
Just
my
the
God.
founding fathers. It was like property owners. It was
Really, don't take our freedoms for granted. Freedom's not free.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, we got a griper here. I'm just calling it right now. We have a Nick Fuentes viewer here.
You like him. You've met him.
At first I was against it. I was like, I think this is a horrible idea, until I sat back and I thought about it a lot. I believe that it's a good move. I think that while it may make it harder for some to vote, you have to take a test to drive
It's
a
a
car.
24. You're 19. You won't get to vote.
I'll take the test and then I can vote.
So the people that can't pass a civics test have to wait till they're 24.
Yes. It's the same concept with a license. You have to pass a test, an exam, and if you fail it, you don't get to drive. And I feel like a vote is influential as driving a car. You can kill somebody in a car. If you have a leader up there in office who doesn't know what they're doing, a lot of people have died from fentanyl and everything like that.
Or COVID. Don't look into those numbers too closely.
Founding fathers actually had a very restrictive right to vote, and they in their writing repeatedly said that that's necessary to preserve a republican form of government. And so we've had an experiment over the last 50 to 100 years of maximizing voter turnout, and as that made the government better or worse.
Back then it was just wealth. It was landowners, and they would pick the president. Yeah.
Right. Well, actually, originally the states picked the president. There was no popular vote for president. And so the original design of the founders was to have the states have their ambassadors in Washington, aka the senators, and the states to pick the president, so that the president was not chasing after the votes directly of people and then promising programs, gifts, etc.
Yeah, we wouldn't want government to work for the people, would we? We wouldn't want people to get, services provided to them by the government. No, that would be wrong.
We apparently thought we knew better than the founding fathers, and I'm not sure that we did.
He wants to institute a civics test to vote.
I'm not sure about that.
You're not sure? Yeah.
Now, I've seen they wanted to bring the age down to 16 because they're hoping some of the propaganda they have in school now will help them get some more votes, I heard. there was talk of dropping the voting age. That's the first I heard of someone wanting to raise it.
I've literally never heard a lefty argue the voting age should be lowered.
This is crap. You trying to get my words to change? They ain't gonna change, my brother.
So you'll still vote for him even if he's convicted?
I'll write his name in. Only thing they can get Trump is sedition charge. Trump gets sedition charge and we can't write his name in.
And all of you
You'll still
liberals,
vote. You're gonna still vote for him even if he's convicted.
we will. I will vote for him. I'm wanted. I am vote for him. Abby, I'm wanted in 4 states.
If he is
Yo, lady, if you're wanted in 4 states, why are you going on camera? Why are you doing it? Why? Hey, Alice McGee.
Convicted, thrown in jail, you'll still vote for him, right?
I will, yeah, even more so.
If Trump is convicted and put in jail, you're still going to vote for him.
Well, first of all, he's not convicted until the Supreme Court convicts him. In America, that's not a conviction. We have an appeals process, which will take years. So by the time that happens, he'll be back in office and handle everything.
No
Hey,
matter
Ashley.
what the situation is.
Glad to hear you got home
Jesus
safe.
was convicted as well. Innocent man.
Yeah.
So just a conviction means nothing to us at all.
You'll still vote for him no matter what.
No matter what, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, someone being convicted at a court of law means nothing in Biden's America. To these people, rapists, child molesters, murderers, well, you can't trust any of them because of the corrupt legal system, apparently. Or maybe it's just Trump. Trump is the only corrupt part of our criminal justice system.
They're trying to accuse Trump of everything. Insurrection, sending fake electors to Michigan, Arizona, 5 other states.
The Constitution demands it.
Mishandling documents.
The Constitution in no way demands a separate slate of electors.
Stealing secret documents.
You mean he had it in his
the
garage?
Georgia's RICO law. They went after
Right.
Trump University.
Oh yeah, they all.
Oh yeah,
loved
flea
him
blotch, yeah.
Until he.
It is absolutely not uncommon for conservatives, especially in the deep red evangelical South, to compare Donald Trump to Jesus Christ. It is actually, I would say, fairly commonplace. Or like alternatively, you get the slightly more mainstream idea of, well, Donald Trump is a flawed man, but through Jesus, all things are possible, you know, like, and so then they argue that even though all things are possible through Christ, only Donald Trump can be the tool for Christ. You know, like they make weird sideways arguments like that.
They found out he loved America. They don't love America, they love their power. They love their system, their structure, their swamp. Nixon was a good boy because Nixon went home and shut up. If Donald Trump would have been a good boy, he wouldn't be here today.
It's just the same thing that they did to Richard Nixon.
Yep.
Famous for being innocent.
But
oh God. Walter Masterson. You know what? If I had money to throw at anybody, I'd throw money at Walter Masterson. Walter Masterson is out there kind of like scratching the itch and filling the void left behind by that one guy, Andrew Callahan, after he was at it for being kind of a sex pest. This is kind of filling that void.
But Nixon, I watched CNN the other night when they admitted that the only reason Nixon did not get prosecuted after the fact because
he wasn't running.
Yeah. He went home. He shut up. No influence. Donald Trump loved America too much to shut up.
You're still going to vote for him, even if he is convicted.
If he is the Republican nominee, yes, sir, I will definitely vote for him.
Now, I won't vote for him even if he is convicted.
You will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I will do a write-in.
You're still going to vote for Trump, even if he is convicted.
Absolutely.
It actually makes me want to vote harder.
They may continue to throw more indictments at him. Go for it. Trump is an innocent man, and he will win again.
Yeah, and you'll still vote for him even if he's convicted.
If he's on the ballot, I'm voting for him.
You're still going to vote for Trump even if he's convicted.
Yeah, I think he'll still get a lot of votes if he's in jail anyway. Secret Service will have to come and take him out of jail and go bring him to the White House.
America is a ship. It only rides in the water when it's balanced, just like any ship. Before Obama, America was in the middle. We all gravitated toward that center where the ship rode well. When Obama came and put gays in the military and transgenders in the bathroom.
Yes, because there were no gays in the military prior to Obama. Don't look at what the armed services say about people who serve in the Navy.
The ship goes like this, right? The only way to ride it, we had to find Donald Trump to bring it back over.
You're talking about indoctrination.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot of indoctrination going on.
I've said President Trump needs to change the slogan to MEGA, not MAG. Make education great again.
By getting rid of the Department of Education.
Absolutely. Or critical race theory, all the books in these libraries that's destroying children's minds.
Yeah, we need to get rid of the part of our government that ensures children get an education, and also libraries. We need to get rid of those. Yeah, that'll make education great again. Education was great when we didn't have public schools and when we didn't have libraries. All of the serfs in the field were just bristling with their knowledge that they gained from the ether of the universe.
I hear reports of parents now, they don't want to bring their kids to church until they're like 13 or 16, because they're like, oh, well, then they're old enough to understand.
Indoctrinated before that.
So what's an appropriate age to bring your kid to church, in your opinion?
The moment they're born.
Okay.
I was born in the church, actually. My mother had me in the church.
Yeah.
So I believe a child, my Lord, why wouldn't you bring a child to start grounding them in the moral laws of the Almighty God?
And that'll get rid of this indoctrination.
Absolutely, sir. But you see, that's the reason we started public schools. The reason public schools was started, you can go read the two reasons. Because at one time, all schools in America were religious, even our colleges, universities, Harvard, they were all religious. Public schools were started to break the stronghold of Christian doctrine over our children. Everyone in our churches...
Ah, yes. Public schools are an atheist scheme to kill God, apparently. Hey, Shaloon.
Homeschooled.
Okay. Wow.
We took back over our children. We took them away from the government schools.
And that's a good way to get rid of the indoctrination.
That's the only way that I know of. What other way is there?
What are some ways to stop this indoctrination?
I am for homeschooling now. I was not a big advocate for homeschooling.
Homeschooling to stop this indoctrination.
Stop the indoctrination, and I'm not even sure we should be sending them to college. I think we could go to technical schools, make sure that they go to conservative colleges, like where is the one?
Liberty, Baylor.
There's another one, Heritage, I think. Teach the Constitution, teach about our founding fathers, teach real history, and instead of this indoctrination and putting our students in debt. I mean, they're in debt. They could buy
Oh my God! Wait a minute. So that guy that he was just talking to, I googled. I wanted to know. I googled Professor Toto, which was a character on his shirt, and it brought me to this page: Professor Toto's Conservative College for all students of the United States Constitution, and the page doesn't fully load. But I was like, oh, well, I wonder who this is. And it's literally the guy. The guy in charge of this ministry is the guy who is just being interviewed. That's amazing. Amazing. We began this ministry in the back room of a small church along the Gulf Coast of Mississippi with a handful, about 7 people. Oh, God. Studying the word of Yahweh, God. We have now elevated into another level of our existence as a fellowship. This guy just sounds like he's in charge of... This just doesn't sound like a normal church. This sounds like a cult. We now gather on Friday nights at sunset, the beginning of the weekly Sabbath, for what we have termed the Gathering. This is a very unique service that people are driving great distances to attend because it is both a very intensive time of worship, the prophetic, and it is also a Bible college class. What many people find refreshing about our meeting is the merging of cultures and races around new ideas. Or cultures and races and ideas. We have the extremes of society among us, ranging from poor to rich, from educated to, again, the website's poorly optimized, so I don't know what is getting cut off here. From Messianic Jews to old-time Pentecostals, and so the divergence continues. What the fuck, dude? This is incoherent ideology. Like, I grew up, right, in evangelical circles. I can tell you that even by those standards, this is completely off the rails. Wild stuff. Polydactyl Black Cat, thank you. And if I get my makeup, I'll be even more posh. Oh, okay, yep, nope. Professor Toto's Conservative College. This is the name of his Rumble channel. 25,000 people watch it. Jesus Christ. The inside life of Barack Obama. The truth will disgust you. Because, you know, he's gay. This is crazy stuff, bro. Pastor Vaughn teaches about life, all caps. Amazing. Alright, anyway.
A home with the money that they get out of school with debt, and they, even if they get really good jobs, their debt to income earned will not let them buy a house.
So you're saying that we should make college free for all, or lower the cost of college?
I don't know what the answer is. I used to think it was, I love this lottery idea that the people going to school that made good grades, but now that I'm seeing that happen.
Yeah, we should just roll some dice and see who gets free college. Excellent idea.
These universities are raising the cost of astronomically for these kids to go, and then these professors are paid all this money, and then it just rolls upon itself. Then the government only hires like the lawyers and things like that out of these schools, and they're indoctrinated at this point.
I've been hearing parents talking about not bringing their kids to church until they're 13 or 16 and they're old enough to make a proper decision.
No, that's not, I don't believe in that. No, that's
something like the mask mandates. Separate us. Make us suspicious of each other.
For the record, what's an appropriate age to bring your kid to church?
Well, parents have to be involved with their church education as well as their school education.
The national education needs to be disbanded. That's unconstitutional. We need to go to the states running their own education. But I think that should be mandatory.
Are you talking about like school choice, or are you talking about?
Well, we definitely need school choice, but I just don't think that we need a national education. We need to go to the states, need to decide what they do in their states regarding their...
Yes, states' rights. Historically, something that led to very equitable educational outcomes in the South.
Education.
Let the states decide.
Let the states decide. The federal government cannot tell some little small community in North Georgia what is best for their students there.
What do we do about this indoctrination?
That's another problem. I think over the last several decades, our schools have been infiltrated by communists. I think homeschooling is an option, or private school.
God, I wish.
I see a lot of states passing
School
reforms
choice.
to the education with school choice. Public school system is corrupt. It's run by powerful unions that fund the Democrat Party. Those aren't people that should be educating our children.
Homeschooling, it's a good way to stop the indoctrination. Yeah.
It's about that and you know, if you can find a good private school.
I'm hearing a lot of parents talking about how they're not going to bring their kid to church until the child is like 13 or 16. They want the kid to be old enough to make a proper decision.
About going to church?
Yeah. about going to church?
I think that's something you can pass down from parents to children, you know, if you're a Christian.
As a Christian, what's an appropriate age to bring your child to church and have them read the Bible?
As soon as they're born. I mean, they can't read when they're born, but a lot of baptisms happen at a very young age.
What do we do about this indoctrination?
I think you have to get rid of the Department of Education. We need to get the people that are indoctrinating our kids out of school.
Who are those people?
Teachers. Change what they teach to where it's
Okay. Oh yeah. You know that's great. You know the real impediment to education is educators. You know, the life spirit of the universe should be educating our children. You know, put them to work in the fields, and you know the great embodiment of all human knowledge, the ether that surrounds us, will simply impart its wisdom.
It's not something that's crazy biased for the left. We need to teach history. We need to teach the facts, not an opinion. You teach the history, don't teach victimhood.
You're local?
Yeah, I just moved to Georgia,
Very
like 2
cool.
months ago.
Oh wow, where'd you move from?
I lived in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to leave because of Ron DeSantis. Kind of messed up the state a little bit.
Ron DeSantis messed up the state. How did he mess up the state?
Man, just everything got so expensive. Inflation went through the roof. Like, it's $4,000 for a 1-bedroom. It's kind of wild, you know? So I moved there when COVID hit. I grew up in LA. And then COVID hit, I moved to Florida. It was great, you know, during COVID for the first year or two. And then ever since he won re-election in 2022 in the midterms, he kind of just stepped aside from being governor and did like a shadow campaign.
My problem is that he knew he wasn't going to be around. He knew he was running for president when he ran.
I love that this guy's like, yeah, these conservatives have terrible policies that are unsustainable. But anyway, Trump is great.
For his second term.
Yeah.
He knew he wasn't going to be around to govern the state of Florida.
I agree. And honestly, they asked him on the debate stage if he was running, and he wouldn't answer.
So yeah, you're not fans of DeSantis.
No.
Yeah, he has establishment ties.
Oh,
Very
hugely
much.
establishment ties. I mean, you could even see over the time, you know, he went from actually not supporting Trump to wanting Trump's endorsement really bad.
Hey, Robert
and
Atset.
getting able to win. And over this whole time, you kind of realize
He wouldn't have won election.
Exactly. And this whole time, you kind of realize, and a lot of us, because we were kind of, you know, we still didn't really see all that was happening, right? Up until 2020, it's when a lot of people's eyes started to open. But you kind of realize from that time, 2018 up until then, he really hasn't had Trump's back.
Rhino.
Rhino.
Would you vote for him for governor again?
I would never, ever support him. I supported him during midterms, supported him during his first thing. I had him on the side of my trailer, had it blown up, Make America Florida, and then he switched on Donald Trump.
God, Walter Masterson is 10 out of 10, doing the Lord's work out there. Why do these people insist on Trump? Because they're trapped in the cult of personality, you know? When the person that they look up to tells them time and time and time again that everything is fucked and I alone can fix it, well, they start to believe him, especially when he's backed by billions of dollars and the entire Republican establishment. You know, like, to them, he looks like a savior in the midst of chaos. It's cult psychology, exactly, Shalhoub. Exactly. The cult of personality is too strong for them to escape. Oh, wait. We might actually have some more. I stopped too soon.
I'm working on an app. This is an app to where if a white person says, oh, I have a black friend, if you're the black friend, you immediately get a note, an update.
Okay.
And it says like, all right, well, this black friend is, you know, this person just named you as a black friend in their debate, gives you their location. You can just show up and be like, listen, this is my coworker from, you know, a few years ago. We really haven't spoken since. We follow each other on Facebook.
Right.
But yeah.
I like it.
Thank
Where
you.
is it in the development?
It's in the early.
Okay. No,
the
I like
Angel in beta testing.
Okay. No, I will. Put me down as.
Yeah, you have to register your black friends as a white person.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I have a few whose name I would want to register.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you.
She's such a good sport. I think she realized he was you know being a little goofy goober and just played along. and because they don't actually understand why everything's fucked. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The entire media apparatus, the media bubble that conservatives are in, leaves them completely vulnerable to charlatans and con men like Trump, right? Like, if you don't know why something is happening, then the guy who's coming along and saying, I alone can fix it, and who has a great deal of power, like, suddenly seems to have a lot more merit to him, right? And that's basically just what he's kept going this entire time.